A dramatic shift this morning in Ferguson, Missouri, where tensions up until now remained high after a police officer shot an unarmed black teenager. After days of angry protest and clashes between police and protesters, the governor changed tactics.
Today, I'm announcing that the Missouri Highway Patrol, under the supervision of Captain Ron Johnson, who grew up in this area, will be directing the team that provides security in Ferguson.
And just to give you a little background, this is what it looked like in St. Louis, in that St. Louis suburb, Wednesday night. How could I forget that? Police dressed in riot gear, shooting tear gas, arresting people. It was total mayhem. And now this is what it looked like last night. Quite different. Attorney General Eric Holder says federal investigators interviewed eyewitnesses to the shooting. He also told the family the Justice Department is committed to a full and independent investigation. And the first wave of National Guard troops arrive along the Texas-Mexico border. They'll serve as extra eyes on the border and report any suspicious activities to authorities. Governor Rick Perry called for 1,000 troops to help stop illegal migrants crossing the border. State officials estimate the deployment mission will cost $12 million per month. And former Florida Governor Jeb Bush wants Floridians to vote against a medical marijuana ballot. He says Florida is a family-friendly destination for tourism and a desirable place to raise a family or retire. He adds large-scale marijuana operations for medicinal purposes counters all of these efforts. And in Iraq, U.S. airstrikes and humanitarian aid make for a positive change in the war-torn country.
Iraqis have been able to actually regroup in some ways. They've gotten more arms, they've gotten more weapons, and they've been able to start pushing back against ISIL, particularly working with the Kurds to do that.
Today, Germany sent 36 tons of humanitarian aid. They also plan to send non-lethal military aid, such as vehicles, night vision gear, and bomb detectors. After 8 years in office, Iraq's prime minister finally agrees to step down. Nouri al-Maliki says he'll support his replacement, Haider al-Abadi. Maliki struggled for weeks to stay on for a third 4-year term, regardless of his opponents pushing him out. His decision to move aside ends a political crisis at a time when Islamic militants have seized large areas of the country and remain on the offensive. The lead lawyer for the self-proclaimed mastermind of the September 11th attack says his client, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, is reaching out to President Obama.
My client, Mr. Mohammed, has drafted a letter to the President of the United States and wants the President to hear his views about a number of matters.
And according to his attorney, jailers prevented Mohammed to send the letter due to the content. Mohammed wrote, "There's, quote, Muslim oppression at the hands of the West in general and the United States in particular." Time now to go in depth on the crisis in Iraq. With Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki stepping down, the political struggle may have ended, but the threat of ISIS continues. Yesterday, in his press conference, President Obama claimed victory for the refugees now freed from the siege in the mountains in northern Iraq.
Our military was able to successfully strike ISIL targets around the mountain, which improved conditions for civilians to evacuate the mountain safely. So the bottom line is that the situation on the mountain has greatly improved, and Americans should be very proud of our efforts.
Meanwhile, reports this morning say Britain is prepared to arm the Kurds to offer more assistance in their battle against ISIS.